Hi, welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. My name is Kirk and today's guests are the husband and wife duo Courtney Napier and David Napier of the Kentucky death doom band Azell. Is it Azell or Azell?
Azell.
Yep.
Azell.
Azell.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you've released your debut album last month on Rottweiler Records. I heard it, I really enjoyed it, and straight away I was like, I need to interview the people who've composed this music. So before we get into it, first thing I'd like to say is, how's your day been so far?
Pretty relaxing, honestly. I'm on like a break for spring right now as a teacher, so it's very chill.
I'm always busy. I'm a graphic designer for my trade, and so things are always pretty busy. But it's been a nice day. And yourself?
Yeah, it's been busy. I've been spent most of the day creating a video for our sister organization, Scream Lash Repeat, called Faith No More, the Top 7 Vocal Performances. So just been listening to Faith No More all day. Yeah, so the first question, this is what intrigued me. So you're better known as members of like this comedic, experimental, extreme metal band. Is it Timoratus? Is that how you pronounce it?
Timoratus.
Timoratus, Latin
Yes.
word, isn't it? So why does a husband and wife duo of the Christian faith, I assume you are, form a grotesque death doom metal band in 2022 and call it Azell?
I'll let you feel that one.
You want me to answer that question? Honestly, it was a very heartfelt discussion of we knew we wanted to kind of change genres, and Timoratus is very genre hopping.
Very weird.
And so we knew that a lot of our fans were kind of like, okay, well, we really like this album, but this album wasn't what we expected, And so we thought, do we want to create a band that has kind of one general sound? And that's kind of when Azell was born. And we really enjoyed kind of like that sludgy, gritty doom sound, and knew that was kind of a direction we wanted to head. And so that's
And I'll also clarify, with Timoratus, it was kind of experimentation. Every release that we put out was a different subgenre of metal. So we've done a black metal, death metal, doom metal, grindcore, so on and so forth, and that kind of irked a lot of fans. So what we decided to do was just keep Timoratus a comedy, family-friendly comedy death metal is how we're kind of pinning it. And then we wanted to do something different and more serious with metal.
Yes.
And the Azell record was going to be another Timoratus record, but then we didn't want to annoy our fans even more, so we kind of spun it off into something else. Entirely. So
yes.
See, that wouldn't put me off. I would like that about Timoratus.
Well, it's not very marketable, I'll say that much.
Yeah, it was very hard to market.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when it's like, this is our grindcore album, this is our power metal album, this is our album.
Yeah. Well, it's like, what are they going to produce next?
Well, I mean, that and the limited time that you have to capture people's attention, they're going to listen to one, maybe two songs, and then judge your entire catalog.
That's
thinking that. So
yeah, and that really wasn't Timoratus.
No.
So
maybe the grindcore album, they'll listen to more than two songs.
Yeah.
You might listen to 10.
Yes.
Which is funny, because that's the grindcore album we put out called Seven Deadly Sins is the most popular thing for Timoratus they've done. We've moved away from that into comedy metal, but people go back to that and listen to that more than anything we've done. Yeah. And that's 7 minutes for an EP.
7 minutes, yeah. It's the most plays.
So what plans do you have to turn Azell into a live outfit?
Well, right now it's just the two of us, and we've got backing tracks. So Courtney plays bass and vocals, and I do guitar and vocals. We're thinking about a drummer. We're not exactly sure. We got, you can't really see off camera here, but a new stage lighting that is really pretty amazing, and fog machines, and really something to engage a stage audience. But we've got a couple live light tests on our YouTube page for Azell, if you want to see what they look like.
Oh, yes.
Kind of in action. But yeah, we've talked about bringing a drummer in at some point, so we're not quite sure. But we enjoy playing as a duo. It's just hard moving all that equipment with just her and I to a venue.
It's all right though.
So we've got a show this coming Friday though.
Yes.
Is that with Azell?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. See, I had a question I was going to ask at the end. I'm going to ask it now. Okay. Are you two still husband and wife when you come home from work and you plug in and start jamming? Does the relationship change? It's a strange thing, that.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but and I don't mean to overtalk.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No, you kind of get in a different mindset. Although when her and I kind of butt heads, because everybody who's musical or in a band kind of butts heads creatively, you kind of got to take a step back and go, well, I got to live with this person, so I need to be very careful of what I say.
That, and when you butt heads being like in a relationship, it's a little different. So, but yeah,
it's fun. We both enjoy it.
It's fun. We do it willingly together. So,
what's your home studio like then? Do you just have one room in the house, or do you rent a garage? What do you do in terms of jamming?
Well, it's the room
we're actually
right
sitting in our home studio. So
I record everything. Well, I mean, apart from what she's playing and everything.
Yeah.
In this room, and I mix and master everything. So the entire album that you heard, I mixed and mastered. And so we're just, I guess, really glad that we live in a time period where we can do that in a home studio and not pay thousands of dollars to rent out a studio or
have to drive miles away or whatever. So we're very blessed in that regard.
When we first moved into this apartment, we were still doing tumortus stuff. Our downstairs neighbor had been deaf since birth, and so just let us know. No, I can't hear anything. She would sign and tell us. So just be as loud as you want. It's like.
Yeah, but now I'm different neighbors.
So do you know what I had in my head as well? It's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not that much of a novelty, is it? A husband and wife duo. And I've interviewed some artists this year in that same position. But Courtney finishes at the school, the elementary school, comes home. You've probably finished for the day, and then you're just talking about, oh, listen to the palm muting on this Death Doom riff. It's like most couples would be like, where are we going for dinner?
Yeah.
And I just envisage you two like, put a bass fill in this, and you're like, this is fucking grotesque, this riff.
I mean, sometimes that conversation happens on the way to dinner, so there's that too.
It'll come home. I'll come up with some really like devastating riff, and I'll be like, come on, hey, put your stuff down. Come here, I need to show you something.
Yeah.
So how did you strike up a deal with Rottweiler Records? They've got a good roster. I've reviewed some of their bands. There was a thrash band called Brutality.
Oh, they're awesome guys.
I know, they're teenage prodigies, aren't they, those kids?
Yeah. Oh, they are amazing guys. We played with them a couple of times. Yes. And just such down-to-earth guys. And,
they're so nice.
But Rottweiler specifically, they reached out to us for Tumoritus. And we said, we're not exactly sure. And part of that is Azell is not in any way affiliated with the Christian faith. We have our own personal faith and we don't push that on anybody, but that's not Azell's purpose in any regard.
Yeah.
And anybody can listen to it and enjoy it. And Rottweiler had just said that they had just gotten under new management and new ownership. And through that, they said that they were kind of stepping away from that label as being kind of a Christian label. So we said, okay, well, if that's the case, then we feel more comfortable joining because we know the new label head, Jairus, who is a wonderful guy, very straight shooter. And so I trusted him and I still trust him. And so that's when we signed our contract because they offered us some interesting things. So
yeah, congratulations on that as well. It's great to see something that you started in 2022 has already taken off and got momentum. And like I said, you've got a gig this Friday. Tomorrow term, your fan base, how have they reacted to it then? Do they like Azell from what they've heard, the Tomorrow term fan base?
I mean, it's gone over really well. I think a lot of our Tumoritus fans know us, and so they're very loyal because we've met them in person. So I think they would follow us wherever we did.
Well, I think you're being humble in the sense that this Death Control record is the best received thing that we've ever put out. And we also have a third band, a shoegaze dream pop band called Color Crush.
That's right.
And we put out an EP and an album there, which was pretty well received. But yeah, this whole album blew everything out of the water as far as reception. So we're glad of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about the debut album then. I'm just going to pick out a few songs, some of the notes that I made. I'd just be interested to get your views on them. So track number 2, AM. Is it track number 2 or 3?
2.
It is 2, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Because the title track is track number 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, is this what Courtney experiences in the morning when she must rise for work as an elementary teacher? Because you've called it AM. Is it really that bad getting out of bed?
Some days. I'm not gonna lie, there are some days that it's really hard to get up in the morning, but I love my job and I go to work anyway and I do it and the day turns out great, but some mornings it's just hard to get up early.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing obviously it's not about that, because I put this feels like a struggle to preserve one's life in quicksand. The vocals sound like they'll burst the eye vessels of their author. That's a really intense style that you've got on this song.
Well, the whole song lyrically is based off of the novella / video game called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Are you familiar with it at all?
I'm not. That sounds interesting, though.
Okay, so it was written in the late 60s in this novella, and it's actually what Skynet from the Terminator films is based on. So it's about a computer that achieves sentience and wipes out the entirety of the entire human population except for 5 people. That it hates them so much that it keeps them alive in perpetual torment. And so part of the reason why it's I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is, spoilers, the end of it, one of the characters of the 5 finds a way to kill the other 4 to just end their suffering. So AM is short for Allied Master Computer, which is this computer that's taken over everything. And it basically turns this last person alive into this gelatinous sort of slug creature with no mouth and tortures that. So I have no mouth and I must scream is kind of how that is all linked. But we thought it was just a fantastic, grim, dark sort of story.
Like that existential crisis kind of thing. Yeah.
So we made a music video for it too, if you've seen that.
Yes.
I haven't. I'm gonna need to listen to it. You know, that's fascinating that now you give me the context to this, that it's this 1960s dystopian. Do you say it's a novella or a novel?
It was a novella, and then in the early 90s, it was a point-and-click adventure game.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So.
Wow. Yeah. That's gonna have a different perspective when I listen to that song now. Can I move on to Chemical Chains? I interpreted this as, are you talking about the opioid crisis in this song?
No, not quite.
Okay.
So it was my own personal struggle with alcohol. And I know a lot of other people deal with other things with substance abuse. Courtney, I know, is kind of backed away a little bit, specifically because of her line of work. And I don't want to get her in any issue because she loves her job. I love my job, and we love making music, but we don't want to rock the boat, so to speak.
Yeah, don't push limits too far.
Yes. But it's just about overcoming those. So through the song, it's about having those struggles, feeling like you're constantly failing, and then you realize things can be different and you make a change. So in the beginning chorus, it's all I feel is pain, all I feel is pain. And then the last chorus before the song ends, it's all I felt was pain, all I felt was pain. And then so it's this rise up sort of
like overcoming something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will you be playing that one live on Friday, next Friday?
Not this Friday, but it's something we're trying to figure out how to play live. So
absolutely.
Yeah. There's another song on here called Wallow. And do you know what I really like, David, in your guitar? There's an atmospheric second guitar channel, you know, underneath the sludgy power chords.
Yep.
What tuning are you playing in, by the way?
Drop F, and she is also playing in drop F, and she has the thickest bass string I've ever seen in my life. It felt like I was playing a telephone wire.
Yeah, it's what is it? I don't remember the gauge.
It's 0.176.
176. So it looks like a telephone wire. Yeah.
So Courtney, when you're sound checking and you're in drop F on your bass, what riff do you instantly start with from your favorite band?
Oh, well, Scud is kind of my go-to because it's like my favorite to play. So, yeah. So
either that or you warm up with some Conan.
Oh,
Conan.
yeah.
Oh, from Liverpool. Man,
Some
no,
Battle in the
that's-
Swamp with that caveman riff is really nice
Yeah.
on that big thick string. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I always remember as a kid
yeah.
in the late 90s, Standard E, and I'd always just tune it to Come As You Are by Nirvana.
Oh, nice.
Because you knew the bit, so it's like, oh, might as well play it.
Yeah.
that's
That's
fantastic.
awesome. Yeah.
Everyone goes through that phase, don't they? Where they understandably learn Nirvana riffs first and then do
You
that.
move your way on.
Yep. Absolutely.
So there's a lot, you know, like you mentioned Conan there, the distortion, the amp overdrive on this, man, you can't even palm mute those strings because it's just, there's so much electricity, isn't there?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Conan. Like the guitar pedal that I use is actually endorsed by Conan. It's the Fuzz Throne by Magic Pedals,
Mhm.
and it was Conan's lead helped design that pedal. So essentially, it's two muffs and a rat pedal in one pedal,
Mhm.
and it gives you that really super thick fuzzy tone that tracks really well in drop F.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So did you play the drums on this, or did you program the drums?
Well, we split.
We split. Yeah, David definitely did a lot of the drums, and I did some. We have like a drum pad that we use.
Yeah, an electronic
then-
drum pad.
There were some that we did program too, so it was kind of a mixture, honestly.
So, but yeah, we have a Alicia, I think I'm saying that right, a drum pad, and we
Oh,
drum
yes.
out and then record it to MIDI and then run it through Superior Drummer 3.
Yes.
Which again, I'm so glad that we live in the technological age that we do, that I can do that and it makes it sound so real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't tell. I mean, you know that first Tesseract album?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's actually electronic percussion. You would just assume that that's a live drummer, wouldn't you?
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow, I
they
didn't know
couldn't-
that.
They couldn't. Apparently, they couldn't afford the the studio time to actually do the drums live.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to program them.
I had no
Nice.
idea.
I didn't either. That's awesome. You found respect.
Or we could just go full the Berserker and just grindcore.
That's true. That's true.
Gosh, if you know who I mean there.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of drum machines, the best use in metal, Ministry, Godflesh, more like the industrial stuff. I was listening to today, the Nine Inch Nails Broken EP. I
Yeah.
love that. I'm really in a Nine Inch Nails phase at the moment, and
Yeah.
there's some great programming on that with like arpeggiated synth patterns. That's something you will probably do at some point because you've done every genre. It sounds like.
Big fan of synths though.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You have always been a fan of synths, for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I need to start listening to your other band because at some point you're going to do a Depeche Mode album. That's what I want to listen to.
Well, it's funny with the other band, we try to keep, so we'll do one album with one band and then kind of move to the next and then cherry hop between them.
Mhm.
And we're working on I won't say one thing, but it's kind of a secret project for Tomortus. But we're also trying to figure out a children's book for Tomortus about
Yes.
being in a mediocre metal band.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So
So you included 3 instrumentals on this
Yep.
10-track album.
Mhm.
How important is it for you to write an album rather than a compilation of songs with this project?
and that's a tough question because
That is a tough question.
everything that we've done before has essentially been a concept album.
Yeah.
And
So I guess in secret, in kind of the underneath, it sort of is a concept album. Like it's got a theme going through it, but
Yeah.
I think it's really hard just to write a compilation and kind of make a mesh. I don't know.
yeah,
We kind of seem to get a theme going and then
Run with that.
write our music through that. But
See, that's what an album is, though, isn't it? It certainly
Yeah.
is to me.
yeah.
Like what you just said there. Do you remember the reason why Tool didn't want their music on Spotify was we don't want this to be played randomly. You
Out
know,
of context.
come in
Oh,
at
yeah.
track number 6 on Onoma, you'd be like, what the fuck's this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to
Yeah.
listen to that. Being like Tesseract, Periphery, bands like that.
Hmm.
So obviously that is important to you in it because, like you said, in your other band, every album has a concept.
Hmm.
And I like that there's 3 instrumentals in there. Is it just because you didn't want to put vocals on, or you just run out of ideas?
We don't have anything left to talk about.
Honestly, so our writing process is kind of to put out some instrumentation and then kind of layer on top and see what ideas kind of fit with the instrumentation that we have. And David had written at least Scud and Wallow for sure that I remember. And I remember listening to them going, I don't know what vocals could like make this better. And so we were like, well, I guess we could just leave it as an instrumentation and just put it on the track that way. And I was like, yeah, because I feel like vocals are going to actually cover up some of the good stuff. And so we just kind of left it.
Well, that we were both listening to a ton of Bong Ripper's Terminal album.
Oh, that's true too. Yes.
And that's all instrumental. And we're like, well, we don't need to have vocals for everything.
Yes. Yeah. So a little bit of a palate cleanser with some.
Yeah, but again, this day and age, people listen to one song when streaming. They think, every song is instrumental.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, it works. I like that. I think I know what you mean. Not quite a palate cleanser, but it does break it up though as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you strategically place them. When I'm thinking about the 10 tracks, yeah, I can see why you've put them in the order that you have as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, Courtney, what technical advice can you give to vocalists that want to start out and growl like the way you're doing?
Lots of practice, good warm-up technique, and good breath and vocal control is kind of the big things that I've learned. And thankfully, we live in like David has said, we live in a technological age. And so I've watched a lot of Melissa Cross videos with some of her teaching.
Yes.
I have watched a lot of Cheney Crab, Entheos videos. I've seen Roll Tomasi live. So I've watched Eva, Cats, Courtney LaPlante and her I Wrestled a Bear Once days, like just kind of figuring what they do and then kind of working it in with what I've learned is kind of my go-to, I guess. But definitely warming up is beneficial because I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah, Melissa Cross, she is the guru, isn't she? If you look at all
she is.
Taught, like Rob Flynn of Machine Head, Randy from Lamb of God. It's like a kung fu, isn't it, of contemporary metal.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's impressive what she's done. So, how much has Azell satiated your creative impulses over the last 2 years? Because I know you've got other projects. Do you feel that this is the one now that brings it together that you're most satisfied with?
I know for me that, again, we kind of jump between them. So it's a palate cleanser because honestly, we've started writing Azell LP number 2 already.
We have.
So that honestly might be even out or finished by the end of this year.
Yeah. So long it all goes well.
Yeah.
And
So it's just kind of where the muse strikes us. But I'm very satisfied just having a musical outlet, period. And being able to do it with my best friend.
Oh yes, we honestly love music so much that it just kind of, like David said, depends on what is going to be exciting to start working on and things like that. And so Azell has definitely been a very fun project with the gritty and the grimy and the stuff that we haven't quite gotten to delve into. So I have very much enjoyed like getting those low guttural sounds and things like that. So.
Do you think album number 2 will continue the drop F tuning, Death Doom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue? Are you possibly going to explore anything else to incorporate into it, or is it just going to be
maybe
down the middle?
More synthesizers? I'm not exactly sure. We're still kind of in the formation stages. We've already written one song, but we're going to shoot for maybe anywhere from 6 to 10 songs, EP or an album. A lot of it just depends on scheduling.
Yes.
Obviously, we're both very busy people outside of music.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of want to put it out now.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question. What are your future plans? Well, you've already started writing the second, what's hopefully going to be a second LP. If not, it's going to be an EP. What about in terms of, like bands passing through your area? Is that something that you would try to get on the bill, maybe? Say, like when I Hate God, they're passing through town, would you try and get on the bill there?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
And we have tried and pleaded with Conan
Yes.
that when came through, because the nearest one they're playing is
Chicago,
which is about 5 hours away from Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
And we play, please let us open for you. And well, we'll think about it. We like to, get local bands in there first. I'm like, I get that, but I think we would be really good. So
we have a parody to cover one of your songs.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem
But
right.
yeah, any bands in that sort of sphere, we would love to really jump on. Primitive Man or Conan, a Bong Ripper, because Bong Ripper's got a new album coming out in May.
Oh yes, that's right.
And so hopefully they'll do a tour that we can kind of jump on at some point.
Yeah. What about, because you both obviously have busy lives in your professional careers, have you ever what thought have you given to maybe even coming over to Europe or the UK?
I would love that. We've thought about it and talked about it, but it's not been
financially viable.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We have a good friend over in Finland who, in his wonderful way, said, if you're ever over here, let me know, and you have a place to stay and things like that, which obviously would take a huge chunk of finances off of it.
Yes.
We'd also love to do like a vinyl run of the album.
Yes.
But again, it's all finances at this point. But yeah, we would absolutely love to.
Oh, I'd love to
come out and do a run.
That'd be so fun.
Finland is probably a good place to start. I mean, it is the heavy metal capital of the world.
Yeah.
When you look at, I always use this as an example, that last Morbid Angel album that most people hated, it's still charted in the top 20 in Finland. It's just incredible, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, sometimes I'll be listening to an album, I'll just think, if all those fails, this is going to get to probably number 10 in Finland. Mediocre black metal album.
They know what they like.
They know. Yeah. No kidding.
Do.
Goodness. That's amazing.
Europe has its own identity, doesn't it? Sometimes you ever listen to a band and you just think, okay, which European country are these from?
Yeah.
Is it Germany? Yeah. Is it Denmark? You can just tell, can't you, straight away?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you, speaking about European bands and things like that, and this may go more towards Tomortis and things like that, but I love Frank Sidebottom. Do you know who he is?
Frank Sidebottom.
Yeah, he had a big paper mache head, big eyes. There's a statue of him in Timperley.
Timperley, yeah. Chris Seavey was
Chris
his name.
Seavey, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel I should, though.
I mean,
it's a quintessential English surname as well.
Yes.
Because we used to have a Man United player, Ernie Sidebottom, I think he was called.
Frank
Frank Sidebottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just Google it now. Chris Seavey, musician.
See, I've piqued his interest.
Yeah.
Outside of the UK, people may not be familiar with Frank Sidebottom. Inside the UK.
Yeah.
But he was just a shining example to me of kind of being big and small at the same time.
Yes.
And enjoying every second of it. If you ever look at his live footage, he has puppets on stage, the big paper mache head, and he just did things his own way. But it's objectively terrible music, but I love every single second of it.
Yeah, it's endearing.
Endearing,
yeah. It's very endearing. Yes.
Yeah, it's like, do you know what you just described there? In the 80s, I think there was a band called Flipper, like a punk rock band.
Yeah.
And when simultaneously known as the best band on the planet and the worst band on the planet in the same gig. And you used to see Kurt Cobain wearing Flipper t-shirts, and all the Riot Girl bands would quote them. And what you've just described there sounds like. And by the way, I've never listened to Flipper because of the way people describe them. But, is it worth it?
Your time is not valuable enough.
Yeah. Well, do you ever listen to that first? I'm a big fan of Celtic Frost. Do you ever listen to Hellhammer?
I've probably listened to about 10 Hellhammer songs in my life.
And I mean, but how fucking primitive is that music? But it's got so much charm to it, though, hasn't it? When you play, you're like, yeah, this is
the same thing you can say with like Man of War or stuff like that.
Yeah, Hellhammer, they're just that band. I'm trying to get an interview with Tom G. Warrior. I've got his email address, so he's agreed to it, but it's been going on for like a year now. Me trying to do this. But yeah, I think it was only recently, probably the last 10 years, where he used to be ashamed of Hellhammer. Definitely was in his Celtic Frost days. You could tell he hated that band. And then in Norway, when they started like referencing Hellhammer as their main influence, you were thinking, oh shit, this is being taken seriously now.
You just got to lean into it.
Yeah, well, music does change over time, doesn't it? I mean, I'll give you an example. Take the band Godflesh.
Yeah.
You know, we mentioned. So they're known, aren't they, as like pioneers of industrial metal. Mm-hmm. You listen to them now, you just hear a band that influenced Neurosis and post-metal.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't have thought that, would you, in 1992?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, not at all. Huge Justin K. Broderick fans, though.
Yeah.
Yezu and, Final, and man's incredible.
And I'll give you another example, the death doom genre, which you probably do identify with, don't you, Azell, because it is a hybrid. That first Paradise Lost album, Lost Paradise, was seen as shit from like day one.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the 90s, the band were ashamed of it. Now, you could argue that's the first death doom album, and everyone takes it seriously. And it's a great album.
Well, it's just funny because people expect stuff in a certain era, and when it doesn't fulfill that, they just shun it. And then when time marches forward and people look retroactively at something and then discover this is not what I thought it was originally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, time will always do that.
Yeah, I mean, another example, the band Cynic. Yeah. Nobody understood that album in 1993, Focus. 10 years later,
it's hailed as one of the best prog metal albums of all time.
It is, though, isn't it? I mean, I've got to do this. I don't know if I can still get my head around it. I listen to it, I just think, this is incredible. I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. And then they followed that with, what was it, Traced in the Air? 15 years later, that was it was really great, but totally different.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into that one. To me, I know it's a bit of, you won't really, if you call it a prog metal band directionless, you're kind of not really understanding them, are you? But that's as close as I got to thinking, this is directionless. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that kind of turned into meandering, but I enjoyed that album.
I like the drumming. I mean, he unfortunately passed away, didn't he?
Yeah.
3 years ago now? Yeah. What a legend. Yeah. Excellent. So you said you might be doing, did you say there is a vinyl coming out, hopefully?
Hopefully. We're still kind of in talks about it.
Yeah. But still in the works.
Yeah. And whether or not we'll send to you, if you haven't heard, there's a special bonus track on the CD version of Death Control.
Yes.
Called
Infiltrator.
That's based on John Carpenter's The Thing from the monster's perspective.
Yes.
Well, maybe you could rework it for album number 2 and put some John Carpenter synths in it as well.
Oh.
Like laser synths.
Yeah.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Don't give me more ideas. I got too much going on.
So where's the best place to buy the album then? Should they go to Rottweiler Records website, Bandcamp, your website?
You could just go to azell.org.
Yeah.
And it'll take you to our Bandcamp. And that would be the best way. If you want to support us, that would be the best way to do it.
Okay. We'll put that up on the screen. Death Control. Why did you go for that as the album title?
Honestly, it was the first song we wrote.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was the first one we wrote. And we felt like it was an appropriate title given the sort of genre that it was in.
Yeah.
That it would gain a lot of attraction. If we called it just something Scud or whatever it may be, we don't feel like marketability. It was a marketability term, really.
Yeah, nothing shallow about that. You basically, with this project, you just wanted it to be, look, this is an extreme metal album, sludge, death, doom. Here's the title, here's the artwork. If that was 1993 and you're in a record shop and you see that back in the days when you just bought things because of the artwork, you would know exactly what you're buying with this record, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, hopefully people like the artwork. I did all the artwork as well. Like I said, I'm a graphic designer.
Yeah.
So hopefully I've gotten a couple of good compliments. Okay.
I think it mentions that on your Encyclopedia Metallum page, which you two are not in control of, are you? Yeah.
I was surprised that we were on there because I know that there are like stipulations. You must have an album out and it must be, and they've refused other stuff from Timortus before on that basis and then I just kind of stumbled on it. I'm like, and then the album's not even out.
Yeah.
They've done they've just gone looking for you, haven't they? Yeah. That's
I guess. I
mean, I do use that all the time as a music reviewer of metal music, but it is absurd that there are certain bands that are not on there, like Periphery.
Yeah.
They've associated them with metalcore. It's like, come on, can't get more metal than like the first 5 Periphery albums.
Yeah, they are kind of hard-nosed, gatekeepery in a way.
Yeah.
Don't take us down, whoever's watching.
Okay.
No, you'll be fine, right? Every Death Doom band, even ones that have only released a demo, are on Encyclopedia Metallum. Yeah, you're in good taste. Certainly with the gatekeepers, I would say, with this album. Just before I go, then, the Dream Pop project. What's that called?
Color Crush.
Color Crush. So is that Cocteau Twins, My Bloody Valentine, Curve, those types of bands?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, clean vocals, melodic, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Very. We penned ourselves as shoegaze for lovers.
Yes.
So hopefully we can gain some traction in that tagline.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I just like I'm thinking of the schedule where, again, the scenario where you both come on from work. Monday, it's the Dream Pop day. Tuesday, Death Doom. Wednesday, we need to learn how to play Power Violence or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so there's this grindcore song that's 20 seconds long.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
Do you have it on on your refrigerator? Do you have a timetable?
I'll schedule it out.
Dream Pop.
That's a good idea, though. Now, it kind of depends on the day that we've had as to like what we talk about. So.
How angry her students have made her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, at least you've got a release, haven't you? Certainly with that.
Yeah.
For real though.
So we're trying to figure out if we were going to do a double bill show as Color Crush and Azell, which we would do first, and then wear ourselves out. I think we'd probably have to do Color Crush first because we blow our vocals out in Azell.
Oh yeah, Color Crush would warm it up, and then we'd just finish them off with Azell.
Would there be a costume change for that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, probably. Yes.
Yeah. Sure. So so you're doing, say you did the Dream Pop one first.
Yeah.
Would you be dressing like the early 90s?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The like what is it? The like street gear kind of
Streetwear,
like colory stripes. Yeah.
Yeah. Some very flamboyant sort of outfits.
Oh yeah.
And then come out in a sun t-shirt and
black dress.
And don't forget
dress and big boots.
Big boots.
Yeah, the sweat bands when you're doing Azell, you gotta have those black,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They need to cover the entire floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're staples in our bags. Yeah.
So did you ever wear the is it the amulet, the arm spikes? Have you ever been in a band where you've worn them?
I have.
I have not.
She has not.
I've seen it.
I played bass with a buddy of mine who helps me with Timortus stuff live.
Yeah.
It's his band called Symphony of Heaven. I played bass with them for probably
like
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was the whole mud on the face.
Yeah.
Try to look as dirty, like you just
wallowed in the dirt and then jumped on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit like Sepultura in that Territory video. I remember seeing that as a teenager. It terrified me. War for Terror. And they're just there with all the mud on, aren't they? And the dreadlocks just swinging their heads. I was like, fucking hell, what is this? Oh, God, those are the days. So is that what you're doing in that band with your friend then? You look like Sepultura.
Pretty much. Yeah, she can attest to that. Although I found it hilarious because, she said she enjoys it because she gets to gawk at me on stage. As a loving wife should, and she's not there with me. But it's so funny when other girls will come up and talk to me after the show if they're there. She'll kind of give them the evil eye. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I do it when I don't mean to, though, too.
Yeah, you can just say to him, I am the vocalist in a death doom band, and I play bass as well when I'm roaring.
True. The intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got a leg up on them. So.
I do.
And with the tunings that you're playing in Azell, drop F, you can just feel that in your chest, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's like
amazing.
rumbling.
Yes.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope Finland is your gateway into Europe, and then you can come down from Finland through Scandinavia into Scotland, into England, back round France. Hey, you're right. I mean, you'd need a lot of money to do this, but it's got to be the dream, hasn't it?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Taking your extreme metal project around the world.
We'd probably have to take like all 3 bands on the road to pay for stuff.
Yes, probably.
We're putting on a 3-hour show.
Well, I think by the time you have your second album, you could definitely get to 2 hours and 15 minutes, probably, couldn't you, with Azell material?
True. It's true. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. We were writing the last instrumental song, and we were kind of running out of steam, and that's one of the last songs. And so I just started strumming open F, and she joined me, and it just kind of resonated in this sort of enveloping, chest rattling doominess. And then we just kind of ran with it, and then we pushed record. And
it became so atmospheric.
Yeah, and everything's
amazing.
better and more doomy with a big bell chime.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. Right. Well, again, to our viewers and listeners, so the album came out last month.
Yes, March 1st, excuse me.
March 1st.
March 1st. So, it was this month, though, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
So, go to Bandcamp. No, in fact, go to the band's website, azell.org, to buy a copy of Death Control. And I think you have mentioned, is it CD only at the moment?
At the moment,
as well as
yes,
obviously
CD only.
streaming.
Yep.
Yeah.
CD only.
Excellent. Yeah.
If they follow us on social media, then we'll absolutely alert them if a vinyl becomes an option.
Yes.
Yes, that makes sense, because once you announce that that's ready from the pressing plant, people could go out and buy that. Yeah, I'll follow you as well, because I'll need to know when the second album comes out. Although the PR for Rottweiler Records, I'm on their list anyway, so if you're still releasing it through there. Why am I already talking about the second album? You're only on the first one. Already going on about like next year. But,
well, we've got an incredible musical drive, so we feel like we have so much music in us that if one doesn't fit one band, then it'll fit one of the others.
Yes.
So
we've got options.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Oh,
It's an absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed the debut album, Death Control, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.